Cricket, no quotas, please. www.cnh.com Cricket, no quotas, please. Seeming many conspiracy theories on the Indian cricket team's performance, the most common one is match fixing. This crops up whenever a high-profile game is lost, like the Champions Trophy final in London. But not even the most hardened cynic believes Team India would throw the final away, especially given the emotions over India and Pakistan. The rule about not stirring the pot may not, however, apply to the Union Minister of State for Social Justice, who must scent an opportunity at every turn to pursue his agenda to seek reservations and quotas. While the unsubstantiated theory on match fixing should be peremptorily dismissed, his call for quotas must be emphatically shot down, as it ridicules the idea of affirmative action to empower the disadvantaged. His call to keep at least 25% places for Dalits and tribals in the national squad is the weirdest idea yet thrown into sport, that is essentially a meritocracy, with parameters of performance met presenting a picture of excellence. India's cricket history may point to discrimination against a cricketer of sterling qualities like Pulvankar Balu, a Dalit. But in modern days, there hasn't ever been a hint of discrimination against anyone in cricket on the basis of caste or religion. Cricket is one sport that tries to place formal coaching systems and infrastructure in all states, and anyone with talent is always made welcome. No one in his right mind will give Mr. Athwal's idea any consideration, his call for quotas being totally misplaced in an field of human endeavor in sport that rises beyond all other considerations. Comments. Visit website. Will Taliban gain as ISIS on its last legs? www.cnh.com Will Taliban gain as ISIS on its last legs? While the Russian claim that ISIS chief Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi was killed in one of its recent air attacks needs corroboration, it is confirmed that Islamic State or Daesh, as the outfit is known in Arabic, has been driven out of Mosul in northern Iraq, its command headquarters, by government troops. Iraqi forces took control of the Al-Nuri Mosque in central Mosul, historically one of Islam's most iconic sites, from Daesh after fierce fighting towards the end of June. It was from this famous shrine that al-Baghdadi had on June 29, 2014 declared himself as the Caliph or leader of all Muslims and founded Islamic State. With the Iraq army mounting a heavy campaign to capture Mosul, the so-called Caliph fled his headquarters, leaving its defense to local commanders. Is ISIS finished as an organization, and have those who spread terror in its name been defanged? Probably. But this should be said with the proviso that ideological currents take time to fully abate even when the organizational structures that prop them up are dismantled. It will help if the government in Baghdad adopts policies that are perceived as respectful of Iraq's Sunni minority. With ISIS-dominated areas of Iraq falling, it is unlikely that the contiguous region around Raqqa in Syria, which is ISIS' administrative capital so to speak, can hold out. In that sense, the organizational dismemberment of ISIS in the foreseeable future can be said to be on the cards. ISIS was a far more deadly organism than Al-Qaeda, the killing of whose chieftain Osama bin Laden at a safe house at Abbottabad, Pakistan, was greeted with relief across the world. While Al-Qaeda operated on the basis of individual cells that were at the heart of its existence and had no headquarters, ISIS possessed the trappings of a state. It possessed territory, access to sources of revenue like oil fields in Mosul, a fighting army, and administrative and police structures. These attributes drew to it young recruits even from Europe and the United States, not to say Muslim countries and India, who responded to its ideological call of returning to the roots of Islam by imitating the way of life of early Muslims centuries ago. It was the frightening and extremely rapid military rise of ISIS, which threatened the regional interests of great powers like Russia and the US, that led to its downfall, with Russian forces tilting the balance in the end. The American attitude toward ISIS was one of horror at its countless atrocities, but also a seeming soft pedaling in light of regional priorities in the wider West Asian theater. Daesh had emerged as a force in Afghanistan and its removal or depletion will benefit the Taliban, which calls for careful calibration of policy by India. Comments visit website.